You don't want the camera on right now, I can tell.
In this episode of Jarrett Loses His Shit.
How's that?
Sometimes you just need a woman's touch.
Well, I don't know about all that, because that's how we got in this mess. Is this whole thing a bad idea? This weekend, we tackled a fifth wheel project, rotating out our kitchen island for better functionality and rerouting the wiring for the outlet and CO2 detector. But the real question is, how many trips to the store will this take? Whoever guesses wrong buys dinner. We also tried swapping out our leather recliner for our beloved Burrow modular couch. Yeah, that didn't go as planned. After removing the recliner, measuring, and even making a trip to Camping World to see what our options might be, we put the recliner right back where it was. Plus, in today's video, we'll update you on our maintenance trip to Elkhart and what we had fixed on the RV. Oh, and remember that big pop we heard when we were trying to get level at Little Arrow in Tennessee? Yeah, we finally figured out what that was. And we'll explain. And with Alfred Hitchcock crazy birds attacking our evening, was all of this worth sacrificing our Friday night? Let's find out.
Can you pick up on the couch and pull it out?
Pull it out up over your head.
Like just toward me.
Can you show me what we're doing here?
Yeah, so if you look under there, there's two, you probably can't see it, but there's two little hooky bars. You can barely see it, and it hooks the back of the couch, keeps it from sliding forward. And I'm just getting it to where we can move it forward, and then I can take this thing apart. And once I take it apart, it actually comes in and out pretty easy. We've done this before. So, come on, show you. If you guys are ever taking your couch out of your camper, on the back they have these two little hooky things. And they're a little stubborn.
You gotta get them both at the same time?
Mm-hmm. And that holds it on.
That one was much better.
That one holds it on there. And it makes it a lot easier on getting out the door.
Remember how I was like, this leather couch is okay. I can handle it. It's softer than the other one. I like it. It's fine. We'll make it work. Yeah, I've changed my mind. So the more I've sat on that Burrow modular we bought for our travel trailer, I have that in my office currently at home. And the more I sit on it by the window, the more I'm like, this is so warm and comfy. I love it. So we, in fact, have decided to remove the leather recliners again and put the Burrow back in. The only problem was the platform of this long slide here is like, what do you call that? Like a lip? It has a lip. It's not like a fabric or a vinyl piece that just flaps on down to the rest of the floor. You know what I'm talking about. What's the terminology?
The dinette side is what they call a sunken slide. So when it goes out, it goes out and it kind of drops down into place. Yeah. This slide is what you call a straight slide.
But because of that whole ledge, the feet of that Burrow are out on the front like an inch too far.
Right.
So, and because of that, like, it's just not going to make maneuvering it very easy. So we have discovered a way to detach those feet, move them back an inch or two on the bottom of the couch so they will fit and sit nicely on that slide.
The only concern I really have is when kind of the trailer bouncing down the road, it's going to flop out. And this corner right here where the slip is, I'm just looking at it.
So I know when we show RVs a lot, I know I've said like, oh wow, they've got a nice fabric sofa, they've thought of me, this is what I want. Of course it's what I like, but it's not what everyone likes. So not every manufacturer is putting in couches with residential type softer fabric, which I totally understand. And I think the biggest reason for that is people with pets. They want the leather. Easy to clean, maybe little kids, easy to clean. Totally get that. But we are not camping with little kids or pets. And so I want something warm and cozy.
As long as those feet aren't more than like 65 inches, which I think they are, we're okay. If they're more than 65 inches, we'll put the other couch back in it. I'll tell you guys about my Indiana trip while I'm just sitting there doing nothing. So I went up there and I had this grand idea, and I went by myself. Valerie stayed home because we have a child in the work program called school, and she can't take days off. But as far as repairs go, everything on my list except for two things I would have fixed myself. When we were in Townsend, Tennessee, and on the video here called Getting Leveling with a Bear, I had pretty pretty big repair thing that I'm gonna say was user error. I'm gonna say it's my fault. Y'all remember that big pop in the beginning of that video?
What was that?
When we were getting ready to go to Florida, I figured out what that was. And so, user error, BAL frame did its job, everything did its job. I found a weak point in the jack system, which was a bracket. Essentially, on the front of these square brackets, you have these brackets that bolt to the bottom frame, and there's one up top. And you've got these two tabs that come out around their square tubing that has a bolt that goes through them, and they crimp down on the jack. Well, the bottom one bracket holding the jack to the frame failed, and it deconstructed. And when we were getting ready to go from Florida, I was kind of doing like whenever we take a big trip, I always kind of go through the camper and like, you know, just check everything out good. Well, I noticed that front jack was up in the air about an inch and a half higher than the back jack, or the jack on the left side. So needless to say, I wanted to get that fixed, and that was kind of like the big issue. Guys, you can kind of see this bracket here is the one that failed, and again, it was 100% my fault. So that's all put back in. Looks nice, and they actually made this one different. So yeah, good deal. I think yeah, they didn't make it different because I think this piece here wasn't on the other one, so they stiffened it up some even more. So awesome. So that was the culprit. Yeah, I mean, I will say I got on the phone with them, and I sent them pictures, and they sent them to the engineers, and I explained everything like, hey, we're going camping. I got this going on. And they said, you're fine. Just make sure when you level it that you're not in that position where that front level corner is like that. And what made it break is the way we were getting level at Townsend, the camper was kind of sitting down like this. And so that one jack was trying to essentially pick up the whole camper. And if that bracket holding the jack on failed. They were really cool about it. I sent them pictures, talked to their engineers, and we went to Florida and had no issue. That was cool that they were able to give us that information. Now, when you have electric leveling, you need to be pretty close left to right. Now, we've had hydraulic auto leveling over the years in our Class A's, and we've had the wheels this high off the ground, which I know is not ideal either. You're not supposed to do that either. But it was what it was at where we were camping. So electric's not hydraulic. Lesson learned. So
well, and it really was our first time kind of in a bind with a very unlevel site.
Yeah.
And you didn't get up on the blocks first.
Right.
And I think that was important too.
Well, if I would have got a level like left or right, like close left or right, we would have been fine.
Yeah, and I think we were learning the system, and you were like pushing buttons, and I was filming you and talking to you, and bam.
Which the way it collapsed was actually good, that bracket, because the frame comes up and has a notch like that, and this bracket kind of come out and has a 90, and when it shoved up into that frame. So it wasn't going anywhere. The top frame rail was actually holding the bracket. So we were okay. And then when we were coming, the other big issue that we thought we had, which when we were doing that, coming out of Florida out of the Keys, when we got to Fort Lauderdale, there was a lot of water inside the window of the front window, and I thought we had a leak. So they took it into the rain bay, and they said they took like an inch and a half, basically like fire hose, and sprayed that window. And he said and they sprayed it for like 30 minutes trying to get that sucker to leak.
Okay.
And so what they think happened was we probably hit, and because they said normally if you get water and it's leaking, it pools at the bottom.
Yeah, which it did.
Just a little.
Yeah.
But they think it's probably more condensation.
Condensation from humidity, because we were in Fort Lauderdale when we noticed it.
And we come through rain, and the water temperature, like their temperature was changing.
Yeah, and which we thought. Okay, so that's good news.
So that was it. And the other stuff was like...
I forgot to ask you about that.
Right, and the other stuff was like behind this seal, they put, again, whoever did the sealant on this particular camper got happy with it, and it squished all the silicone or whatever out, and it was making a big mess. I had the light in the bathroom that quit working, and then it's their fridge. They got these metal tabs, and they would catch.
Yeah, they pop.
And that's been our repair list.
Open it up. Does it pop anymore? That's good to know. All the way. Open it all the way. Oh, that's nice and quiet. That shuts better than our one at home.
And then this slide, it needed just a little bit of adjustment because this is a straight slide, so the slide is designed to come straight in, straight out.
Okay.
Or like the slide in the dining room, it comes up, and then when it comes in, at the top, it comes in the bottom and seals it shut. So this one needed to be just a little bit of adjustment. Again, that's like stuff I would have probably normally done myself. Oh, I had a bad solar charge controller. That was the other thing I had fixed. Because my solar charge controller was over electrifying the battery. And so they changed that. And the only reason I didn't get my camper at 2 o'clock on Thursday was because they wanted it to sit in the sun to see if it did it again. Okay. And so then I picked up my camper like 6 a.m., 6:30. And that I'm not worried about because I expected that.
I expected that too. What we got over there, it's right off the edge, isn't it?
Completely.
Let me see. They want to see too. Darn. Okay, now what? We got to move it back 7.5 inches?
Houston, we have a problem. This is all the way back. It's not going to clear your bed.
We just move Olivia into the hallway a few inches.
Yeah, but those are on hookies. Try moving that couch.
For real?
Try moving it.
Come on, bro. Seriously, I'm about to go over to Camping World and just see what they have. You want to do that? They're still open. What time do they close?
Like 9 o'clock or something.
Last time we walked in there, they had one fabric couch. Remember?
They have a bunch in there now.
Probably because they saw my video. Let's go see. Hey. I got something.
That would fit.
What is it?
62.
How deep?
32.
Comfort test. It's not bad. It's not bad. Did you sit on it?
I need to look at the underneath of it.
This is nice. Do we have room for this? Oh. I don't want to lay down on it completely. Oh, look how easy this is. That's nice. Sale price, $6.59.
Like this couch here would be okay if it wasn't gray.
I just feel like there's a solution we're not finding. What is that solution? This video might be to be continued, which I hate. I hate to be continued. I like a beginning, a middle, and an end. A solution.
So if there is a to be continued, like this might be a good one to get some feedback from our community.
Where do you all look? What do you do? What are you doing?
Well, I've come up with this new workout program. It's called Taking Your Couch Out of Your Camper and Putting It Back In. You should try it. So one of the things I wanted to do was get this island moved, but it just didn't work out timing wise for us to get everything that we needed to get done. This is, I've never seen the inside of a plug like that before. It is.
This is new to you?
This is new to me.
I was thinking that even if we don't get the electrical hooked back up, that's okay with me if we lose one outlet.
Well, I gotta hook it up because our COT, cars up tomorrow. Our CO2 detector is right there, and it would be unsafe. So we're gonna hook it up.
The purpose of this is to get these doors over here. Because look at all this space. I have to bend down and get some stuff out. Even with the doors moved, I mean, it will help with getting things out because this just isn't a lot of space. It does not solve the problem of lighting the dang oven. You still gotta crunch down there with the door open, and it's just not like a lot of room to get down there and actually see the pilot light being lit.
Good news is, this would be pretty easy to do. Bad news, I got to shut the 12 volt power off because that little CO2 detector thingy's on the battery and I don't want to get electrocuted. All right, I got to go to the other side and in there and try to find some wire nuts to take that off. Once I unwire it, the plan is I got some like blue masking tape. We can put some marks on the floor and then we can just turn it around, set it right back down inside those like marks for the floor, and then that way, because when the slide comes in, the one that behind me is deeper than the one on the other side. So we gotta, like this is not in the center, so we just gotta make sure we put it back in the same spot. Essentially, I am just unwiring everything because I got basically a cord that runs up in here. It's got this 110 in it, and then this here, which is low voltage, 12 volt. And so I gotta unwire it, and then when I flip the Allen around, I'll have to extend this wire and put it on the other side. That ain't no big deal. I need some Romex and I need some conduit. Really, that's about it. Just something enough that we can, when we spin it, we have something to mark, kind of line it back up with. So I'll do like 2 on this side and like 1 on each end.
I would think there'd be holes from the screws.
There will be, but you won't be able to see them because it's be sitting on them. Figures. Wanted one of those, but these work. So what I'm doing is I'm just, like I say, I'm just unwiring this thing. So essentially at this point, all I gotta do is unscrew it and flip it and then put it back in. It shouldn't be that big of a job. And I just totally screwed myself on that because I said it wouldn't be that big of a job. Your little drawers are handy, but they are now officially in the way for this project.
Sorry.
There you go. There's like these screws here. You just unscrew those. And then this will be loose and we can flip it around out of the way.
We're just spinning?
Yep.
Oh, I'm excited. Are we attached to anything?
Nope.
Oh, watch your toes.
Take them to you.
Back a couple inches. Oh, I hurt my back. Oh, yep. Just 1 second. What? I ain't playing. You think we're 22? We ain't. All right.
I'm 22 till about 6 o'clock at night, then I'm falling asleep on the couch. No, I just realized I gotta move that block because that one block didn't come off. I bet that was supposed to be stapled in, so we'll put a staple in it. Maybe. Make sure my staples aren't. I want to shoot it through the sides, you know.
Maybe you could just scoot it instead of us lifting it.
Well,
If I lift and pull, I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt myself.
You push. I don't want to rip our tape off the floor because that's our markers.
You can push and I'll pull. Yeah, we're good. Stop. There you go. That's perfect. Oh, look at this. What do you need? I don't even have to bend over. Oh my gosh, can you guys see this? Look at all this space I have. We can get down here very easily. That's great.
Well, Home Depot.
You think all this can be redone? How are we gonna get all this down there?
Well, that's why I'm going to Home Depot. I'll buy a piece of wire and some conduit.
Hey. You wanna go to Menards instead? I have a rebate.
We can, I just don't know where anything is. That's fine.
Oh. Well, I got $40.
Let's go spend, let's go save $40.
That's what I thought.
You said I get 1 trip to Home Depot, or I have to 2 trips. I'm buying dinner. Well, and it's on tape. You said Home Depot. We're going to Menards, and so if I got to go to Home Depot, I still have 1 trip left. So,
Well, let's just hope Menards has what you need.
well, so you will be most likely buying dinner tonight.
We'll see about it. One down, one to go.
1 down, 1 to go.
Conduit and wire. What's conduit?
I was going to ask you that.
I'm guessing it's this thicker wire.
Nope.
Oh. Oh, is it it's the little thin wire those little nugget pieces? No. Okay, never mind.
Nugget?
Those little nuggets that you screw on the end. Well, show me the wire you already have.
This is doorbell wire, which is just a low voltage, which will work the CO2 detector.
Oh, see, I thought that thin stuff was maybe going to be conduit.
And that'll work for that. And then I'm some Romex for your plug, to extend the plug.
That's also wired to me.
Also wire. But it's literally called Romex.
All right, I'm going to Google conduit. Okay. Got it. Conduit. Okay. It has to be that thick?
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna shove that wire through it.
Oh, those are those nugget things I was talking about. What are they called?
Pardon?
Yeah, nuggets. Wire nuggets. Come on. I'm learning. Did you save big money at Menards?
Well, you know, maybe. I will say the rebate thing.
Kind of handy,
It's
isn't
kind
it?
of handy. So we went from $40 or from $70 to what, $26?
Yeah.
So I guess we
Well,
saved.
you bought more than you came for, so it looks like I'm already winning.
No,
It's one trip, but we came to Menards and I saved you money, so I'm totally winning.
but I can bring it back and get my money back.
No, that's not how this works.
Yeah. First thing first, before I make it permanent again, is I'm gonna run my slides in and make sure everything closes like it should, which it should, because it's the same length. But just, let's be careful. It looks like it did.
Now y'all know what the Venture Sport Trek 353 VRK looks like with the slides in. We have got that question before. And yeah, you can still get to the bathroom. I think you're overthinking it. It looks great.
I'm gonna put it in and somebody's gonna be like, "Your island's crooked, you hack jack." What that guy call me, a hack jack?
All right, let's get this done. It's gonna get dark and you owe me dinner. Fool.
No, you owe me dinner, fool.
You got a lot of goodies here. You moved it slightly right here. It was already moved from that side of the tape, but this side of the tape looked nice and tight. And
Yeah,
good.
it's off. It's off quite a bit actually.
How many?
1/4 inch, based off this seam.
Yeah, you should have had me looking. I can tell by just standing here. It feels off a bit.
So really, this end probably needs to come this way.
You know, I think this is really handy because as I'm sitting here at the table, I can be like, hey,
Oh,
hand me some chips.
especially I was gonna say the snack drawers right there, so it'll be real handy.
Why'd you get so much of that?
Because I didn't want to go back to Home Depot.
Well, you're going to have to go back to return some of it. Probably, right?
Maybe. As long as I don't have to buy dinner.
Are we over that yet?
No.
Olivia's home now, so looks like you're buying both of us dinner. And it's Friday night, so I want to go somewhere nice.
While we were at Menards, I bought some zip ties that you can put like a drywall screw in, and so I'll just put it in there and kind of take the zip ties and make it form into how I want it to go. So it'll look better. Right now it looks terrible.
Zip tie to what, though?
This board, I got some little short zip tie, or like little short screws. I'll just screw in there just to hold it out of the way. What are these called again?
Nuggets. Wire nuggets.
Well, these wire nuggets.
They kind of look like the things you put in your ears at the NASCAR track.
Or, if you're a real redneck, tractor pull.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Fun fact about me and Valerie when we first started dating. One of our first dates that she took me to was a Lancaster Fair Demolition Derby.
It sure was. I knew what you'd like. Cars and stuff. Now, had it been a tractor pull, that would have been right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
So we've been married going on 23 years? 24. Dang, 24 years? And how many tractor pulls have I been to?
Several. We went when we were younger and the kids were small. We went all the time. That was always one of my dreams, was to build a light limited super stock tractor. Would you rather have this up here on the front and going around, or around the back?
Oh, I don't really care. Just as long as it's not in a coil like that, because I got to put stuff under there.
Right.
I don't need too much stuff.
I know.
But what I have is you know, I do use that space.
Well, I want to do the next one to be easier because I'm just going to zip tie it to this one. You know what I mean?
You don't want the camera on right now, I could tell. Can anyone else see that on his face?
They're all watching. In this episode of Jarrett Loses His Shit. Honestly, if I took these doors off, it probably wouldn't be that bad of a deal. You know what would make this even easier? Had a great idea. They do it at a factory.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, but they wouldn't have done it like this. I think they just put the island in the right way the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Okay, what do you need?
See if you can get that screw started.
I can do that. Sounds like a challenge. It's gonna fall off. Okay, move your fingers.
Just get started.
I don't want to get it crooked.
It doesn't matter.
That conduit's in my way. Okay.
You got started?
Yeah. No, I can get the whole thing. How's that?
Yeah, thank you. Sometimes you just need a woman's touch.
Well, I don't know about all that, 'cause that's how we got in this mess.
So I got that wire running. I'm just going to basically hook this, wiring up these together. Then what I'll do is zip tie that wire to the other conduit that's got to go up for the electrical plug. And then once I get it in, I'm about done. I feel like I've about got it. So we'll see.
I can grab it. What do you need?
A little black screw.
It's right. You were so close.
No, the screw.
Oh, what screw? There is no screw. Oh, yeah, there is. It was hidden.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know why that one's flashing, but
Oh, nobody wants to hear that.
I think so. It's flashing for whatever reason. So I'll do some Googling on that. I don't know that it's supposed to flash because it seemed like it was just lit green. Maybe I just need to kill the power and then put it back. I don't know.
Is this whole thing a bad idea?
No.
I like this so much better. That's just a personal preference, I guess.
The only bad part about this whole thing is just that it's cramped. It's very cramped working spaces. Like inside, like running the wire and stuff. That's
yeah, inside the island.
Yeah, moving the island's not that big of a deal. Power on green. Red flash. It's a green flash. Maybe I got them wired up backwards. Let's try that.
Now, what's this other one go to?
The plug.
Okay.
The plug.
Is it long enough?
No, that's what I bought this for. I bought that so that I could extend it. Be careful doing this because you don't want to cut your wire underneath. You want to cut this wire. I just peeled the sheathing back, so I did the same thing here. And I'm just going to take wire nuts. I'm going to pull some copper back here and I'll just tie these together. And then I'll run them out. And then I'll take my conduit and I'll cut my conduit to length to go over this part. And then I'll just zip tie it all together. This one should be, because I don't have to screw anything, a little bit easier. Honestly, I learned how to do most stuff on the farm because Dad was always like, and I'm this way, and it drives you crazy, but he expects you to know how to do everything. And so we would have like something that was broken, and I know why he did it, and especially looking back, because he would just tell us like, fix it, and I'd be like, well, what's wrong with it? And he's like, well, it's broke. I'm like, what's broke? He said, well, I don't know. Figure it out and fix it. And that was kind of like my instructions on how to work on stuff as a kid. And I used to get really aggravated with him about it when I was a kid. But honestly, so you learn how to do a lot of stuff that way when you have to just figure it out.
Yeah, I've been married to you a long time and you figured out a lot of crap. Let me see what you did there. Hold that closer to the camera, please.
Just tied them together. Now the fun part will be getting them in this little junction box.
Now, what's the difference between black, gold, and white?
Hot, neutral, and ground.
Do I have to guess? black's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Gold was neutral. Gold was ground.
Mm-hmm.
GG. It's a good way to remember it.
Okay.
And white was what? Hot.
Neutral.
Neutral. Okay, sorry. Black, neutral. I mean, let's start over. Black, hot. Gold, ground. White, neutral. Yay!
Something like that.
I'm learning. So do you want me to be your camera girl when you do some of the truck build stuff? Because I think it's better for me to just be behind the camera and shut up. But I do learn a lot when I come with you to do this stuff.
It would probably be really helpful if you were our camera girl on the truck stuff. Because it's really hard.
It's hard though when you don't communicate and you don't tell me like where to stand or what you're going to say next. And then you're also asking me to hand you stuff. I'm like, okay, I can't do all this.
Oh, I know. And it's the same thing. I mean, I get it. And it's like, even like when we do the truck build stuff, it's like, because like I'm on a time budget. When a lot of times when I'm doing that, I'm not taking like the best camera shots because I've only got so many hours to be there. But then if you went and did the truck build stuff with us, you would probably find it neat for about 20 minutes. And you'd be like,
oh, I bet I can learn quite a bit. Actually learned quite a bit doing your revisions for your first edit on last week's video. I had to watch it a couple of times.
did you give me subtitles?
Not that time, but I can now. Would you like to throw in a word that needs a subtitle?
Featurings?
Oh, here we go again.
It's funny. Somebody said, I knew exactly what he said. And I'm like, see, I don't need subtitles for that, everything. Sometimes I need subtitles.
Well, sometimes it sounds right, but your syllables are like highlighted in the wrong place.
Well,
and then it sounds like a different word.
Years ago, I worked for Tractor Supply Company. I was actually a store manager for them. And they would make us, like, you would call in and you'd ask for tires, for oil. And up
The what?
Tires and oil.
What?
Tires and oil.
Tires and oil.
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 Sounds so wrong.
What is this video turning into? It's definitely not a language lesson because we got it all wrong.
Grammar by Jarrett. That's, and I will say this.
There's a channel that would get 1 million views.
What the hell? So if y'all get a response in the YouTube comments and it's really poorly written and the terribly bad grammar, one or two things happen. My Grammarly app's not working, or it was me. Either way, it's still me.
What the heck? Oh my gosh. Oh, whoa. We totally get pooped on. Oh my gosh, they're insane. Look at this mess they left all over the driveway. Oh my God, I just stuck my hand in it. Jared, I'll be back. I gotta go wash my hand. It's everywhere. Thank you. Oh my gosh, did you see that? Don't put your hand on the handrail, there's bird poop on it. Those things were crazy. Your truck's dirty now. So's the camper.
It's a $70 car wash on this camper.
See? Not as young as you thought. I told you.
Never seen anything like this before. This is not what you would see in a residential electric at by any stretch. Try and push. It's got these little, they cut the wire as it goes in it, the sheathing on the wire. And that's how it makes contact. Okay. I'm just trying to shove that down in there. Well, I don't want to have to go back to Home Depot.
I'm just not going to say anything yet. Nothing along the lines of like...
Nope.
Carolina knows what I'm going to say. She can put it right in the text. I told you so.
Guess who's not going back to Home Depot?
Oh.
Take it, I told you so. Grab somewhere else. Pop or snapper.
Nope, everything just beeped. We're good?
2. That's correct. Correctamundo.
I'm glad you know what you're doing.
I ain't done yet. This is kind of a really interesting setup.
Well, that's pretty, kind of. I got a marker for that, don't worry.
So what we did is basically ran some conduit in that corner from where the wires originally stubbed up from the factory. And I just put them in the conduit running along the back side of the island. I still got to clean up those wires there, and I will. I'll get that straightened up here in just a second. And I just ran it up there and put it in back in like it was. So really wasn't that big of a deal to do. It was the worst part about it was just like there's no room underneath here for me to kind of get in there and work, but it's okay. I mean, it's not the prettiest, cleanest job in the world I've ever done, but you know, we got the island moved, and I'm like Valerie, I do think that this is going to be a much better setup.
So much better. Like, look at all this room I have. I'm not bumping into anything. It's grand.
So guys, was all this worth sacrificing a Friday night for? Yeah, I think so. It wasn't that hard. And if you got an island, now you know, roughly, they can be moved, especially if it doesn't have plumbing in it, which makes life a lot easier. And so not a big deal. So, we learned something. Let me know if you learned anything. And you know what? I had to buy dinner anyway for Valerie and Olivia. What the crap? Like and subscribe.